Welcome into this edition of Hand Raise Guys. This will be the Friday Oxford Exxon podcast. Neal, McCready, Chase Parham with you for a while tonight. Hope you all are well. You doing all right?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm just kind of waiting on it to catch up on my stream. It was not coming in. I'm good. Neal has it on his computer, so he gets to see it in real time. I do not get to see it in real time. I'm waiting 30 seconds or whatever it is. But nonetheless, good day. We've had a eventful day on the message board a little bit this morning. We saw somebody called you a liar on Twitter because Mississippi has a very rich person. So obviously Ole Miss can cheat at whatever level it would like to because there's a really rich person in Mississippi.
Oh.
You didn't see this?
No.
We'll get there in a minute.
I spend less time on Twitter lately than I maybe ever have before.
Danny White, the new AD at Tennessee. Still kind of crazy the number of high-profile ADs that were on the Ole Miss staff at one time there, as they had all those guys on there. I mean, Danny White, John Hartwell, and Alan Green, all associate assistant, whatever you want to call them, ADs under I guess, Pete, right at the end.
Yeah.
Ross had a couple too, but Pete was the one that had the triumvirate, if you will, under him. AD's now at Tennessee, Utah State, and Auburn.
Talked to some Tennessee people today. I guess first we should tell people about our show.
That's the Oxford Exxon podcast, brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. You can pick up a lunch special, $5.69 on this Friday when this podcast comes out. 2 sides bread, 32-ounce drink. Also download the Speed Pass Plus app. You can do that. You earn points. Points equals save money there at the pump at the Oxford Exxon or any other Blue Sky location in Mississippi. Again, we're in the Clark Ford studio.
We are. Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Tell our buddy Corey Clark when you call, say, hey, here's what Ford product I'm looking for. Maybe it's the F-150. Maybe you're looking for an Explorer, an Edge, a Focus, whatever the case may be, an Expedition. So here's what I'm looking for. Can I get a quote? And he'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Then you go from there. You can shop that quote around. You can use it as a gauge elsewhere. I mean, that's your business. It's not taking any of his time. Or you can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do. Let's hop into a Clark Ford. You will love the service. You'll love the vehicle. Corey really wants to establish a relationship. He wants to be your truck guy, your car guy. He'll prove that to you when you make the call, 662-257-1900. Guest will join us tonight. You guys will call in on the Rafters Music and Food hotline, Rafters Music and Food on the square in Oxford. Burgers, po' boys, catfish, shrimp, appetizers, beer, drink specials, the whole deal, full bar, all of that. Be a great place to watch Ole Miss Texas A&M basketball, 2:30 Saturday at the Pavilion. Be a great place to watch NFL football. I know Chase won't be watching, but most people will be. Chase is out. Most people not out.
I will watch the AFC game, just not the NFC game.
So you can watch the NFC game and then watch the AFC game as well. Those games on Sunday, the 2 winners will play in the Super Bowl. So you can watch those 2 games on the big screens at Rafters Music and Food on the square in Oxford. They also have Rafters Music and Food in New Albany as well.
Had that as we alluded to on yesterday's show, they announced all the stuff for the baseball opening weekend in Arlington, February 19th to 21st. Ole Miss will face number 10 TCU on Friday at 3 o'clock, number 3 Texas Tech Saturday at 3 o'clock, and then number 9 Texas Sunday at 3 o'clock. All the SEC schools played the same time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All 3 of State's games are at 11 a.m., and all 3 of Arkansas games are at 7 p.m.
Okay.
So they put them there. They're going to allow 14,000 to 15,000 into the stadium there at Globe Life Field.
Globe Life Field.
Yeah, Globe Life Field. They had one of the NL Divisional Series. Then they had the entire NLCS and the entire World Series. Yeah, at Globe Life. You can get tickets. Go to the Rangers website, and you can. I think it's like Rangers.com/college baseball showdown or something. I don't know. It's linked on the site at rebelgrove.com. But they are selling tickets, and at that number, it'll be a fairly normal weekend for you guys if you want to take a trip and see Ole Miss against those 3 teams. No bags allowed. General admission on the seats. I think you buy them in two per cluster or whatever it is.
Yes.
But yeah, something like that. So anyway, that's just that came out today. So Yeah, take advantage of that. Yeah, I've got it here. Let's see, who was it in the mentions? Perry Huckabee.
Okay.
You told an absolute lie on the Chuck Oliver show yesterday. Were you on the Chuck Oliver show yesterday?
I was on the Chuck Oliver show.
So he has the right person. Ole Miss absolutely has the resources to cheat at the level they were accused of. You don't know who one of their alumnus is, apparently.
Well, he's been on the show, so I do know.
Alumnist, by the way. ALUMNIST.
Oh,
alumnus.
That's a new one.
Alumnist. The guy's net worth is $1.7 billion. Okay. So that's all it takes. Whoever the richest guy that might be a fan or in the state is, if that dude's there, let it rain. Done. Okay.
Oh, shoot. Who is this guy? Who's he a fan of? Can you track him down?
Well, here's the problem with Mr. Perry.
Okay.
Huckabee
Perry?
Probably not kin to
Is it
Mike.
Perry Huckabee or Huckabee Perry?
Well, Perry E. Huckabee is his name.
Okay.
The E is important, probably. His Twitter name, however, is Huckabee Perry.
So it's kind of confusing.
A little confusing.
This
is hard to do because it means not even a bot gives a damn what you think. He has 0 followers.
Wow.
I mean, I don't understand how that's doable.
Can you go back through some of his tweets?
Well, he only has 9. He didn't say a lot.
Can you determine who he's a fan of?
I mean, you're really in good company here because he has replied. Let's see. He's only replied. He's never given a tweet to himself. I mean, by himself out to his 0 followers. I mean, really, tree and falls in the woods here because nobody follows him.
Right.
You.
Okay.
Sean Hannity.
Okay.
247 Gone Fishing and Sean Hannity. I don't know.
Okay.
Hannity again. Hannity again, as well as DSHASH312, whatever.
Sure.
He's probably replying to bots at this point.
Yeah.
Hannity, Sports Center, and LeBron James.
Okay.
LeBron James and Rob Reiner.
So what you're saying is that
you're in very select company.
Me, Sean Hannity, LeBron James, and Rob Reiner are all sort of the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
His very first tweet that he decided that he was going to christen the app with, at Rob Reiner, you are a loser meathead. A vote for Biden is a vote to destroy our nation.
What did he tweet at LeBron? I'm going to guess it wasn't favorable.
Very, very similar. You're a loser. He likes that.
Yeah.
He didn't call you a loser.
No.
You are a loser. There's an entire decade of basketball called the 80s better than you. You wish you were as good as Jordan, Bird, Magic, Barkley, Reggie, Pippen, but it's...
Oh, my God.
but he spaced them, and many others.
All right, so let's go through that list again.
Jordan, Bird.
Okay, LeBron's better than Bird.
Magic.
He's better than Magic.
Barkley.
Better than Barkley.
Reggie.
Yeah.
Pippen.
Yeah, of course.
But he got excited, so it's PIP space PEN. He got a little carried away with typing.
All right.
And many others.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Etc.
I'm with you on the Jordan part. The rest, not so much.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much I'm with you on the Jordan part, if I'm honest. But I'm willing to entertain that argument.
He's very angry.
He is a very angry person. Is he mostly responsive in a positive way to Sean Hannity?
It appears that he is playing off of something Hannity has said. I mean, there's a couple of them that are kind of vulgar. I can't really go there. Yeah. But, yeah, because one of his is at Sean Hannity. Please block all these Biden lovers who have been brainwashed.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
I think he likes Sean more than he likes you. It appears.
Okay. But maybe me more than LeBron.
But his bio is blank, so I don't know who he is a fan of. I guess he is wearing an. Is he really wearing an Alabama hat? I didn't even look at the picture.
That would make sense.
That'll answer a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of pent-up sexual tension there.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's wearing an Alabama hat.
Roll Tide. Yeah, there
sorry.
you go.
Never mind. I apologize. We know exactly who
we're
he's a fan
officially
of.
not surprised, and he's not a bot. He's real.
Yeah, he did one of those selfies where he like holds it out, so you see like the arms and everything like in it. It's maybe we'll get him some followers.
Yeah, maybe so.
We could probably really freak him out if all y'all guys just follow him on Twitter all of a sudden.
Fantastic.
So suddenly he has like 200, and he's like, "What the?"
Is it Perry?
It's Huckabee Perry.
Spell it for me because we're going to
HUCKABEE. PERRY.
No underscore or anything?
Nah, no, just straight. Apparently there aren't a lot of Perry Huckabees. He was able to get what he wanted. All
right. He'll pick up a couple hundred followers here in a minute. And
yeah.
He'll wonder what happened. He'll say, Mama, I made it.
He'd be really confused. Yeah, that LSU 92 guy hates you too.
He hates me a lot.
Yeah, I don't really know what that's all about, but he does not like you.
And I get this one random guy. It's really funny. He sends me emails. I think this is my contribution to society.
Uh-huh.
The most hateful, nasty emails. And I respond to them. Because my philosophy is, if I let him have an outlet, he'll just email me. I'm not harmed.
Oh, so you're taking the blows.
I take them, and I've told him a few times, hey, keep bringing this to me. Let this out. Send it to me. Let me send it to me. Don't go on a shooting spree somewhere. Let me have
this
it.
has crossed your mind.
Oh, yeah.
That you are relieving his tension.
No, that I'm letting him vent at me, and I don't belittle him. I respond. I try to respond very rationally and calmly, but I let him at me, and I'll say to him, keep doing this to me. I can handle it.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm worried the guy's going to snap and go into some middle school somewhere and just light it on fire. I can handle it. Trust me, his stuff, it's not the worst I've ever encountered. It's up there.
He's in double digits now, so we're getting him there. We'll let him give him an outlet here.
7 and climbing.
I don't know how you have 0 followers. Because bots are everywhere.
Yeah.
Because if you run one of those little things,
but he's not very active.
I guess that's true.
And so he's only in the Hannity sphere.
If he was just tweeting out into the oblivion, then it would be different.
Like even if he mixed in like multiple conservative pundits.
Okay. The more people he interacts with, the more it picks up his.
Like if he picked up Mark Levin and a few other people, and all of a sudden he's getting out there in that realm.
Yeah.
If he's just picking one and only on occasion, you could slip through.
We got bored during baseball season one year and started using that website to see like what percentage of bots on people's accounts are, and we discovered a few people that had like bought followers.
Oh,
so, like we busted them in the middle of.
Why would anyone do that? Because you don't.
Your self-esteem has to be wrapped up in a way that I can never comprehend. I mean, it's.
All right, so I've dug around a little bit. I've done my due diligence because I've had people ask me today.
On what?
On Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, had a guy on Twitter.
Okay.
He says, hold on, it's been a day. Is Danny White a Lane Kiffin guy? I've gotten that version of that question a bunch of times.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do my due diligence, and I'm going to make the phone call to several people. Now, some people told me to quit wasting their time, which was
valid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was one of those deals where I called, and when people answered, I'd say, so don't yell at me. Knowing that if I were in their shoes, I'd yell at me. And I said, is there any reason at all for me to spend anything more than this on this? And I'll tell you who told me at the end. I talked to Chris Lowe,
sure.
ESPN.
Who's very tied in Tennessee.
Long-time friend of mine. Chris is a super guy, very tied in, knows the Tennessee program inside and out. He said, look, Lane's doing what Lane does, which is...
He's playing.
Use your word. Playing, trolling, having some fun, whatever. So when you hear Lane Kiffin is interested in the Tennessee job, some of it is Lane Kiffin makes phone calls. Don't forget, Lane Kiffin coached at Tennessee for a year. He knows people there.
He coached for Danny White's brother at Florida Atlantic.
Is it Mark White?
Brian.
Brian White.
Brian
That's right.
White.
That's correct, Brian. So that's going to come up. Do I think Lane Kiffin would listen to Tennessee, whatever that means? I don't know. Kind of, maybe, sort of, possibly. Is Tennessee going to hire Lane Kiffin? No. Would Lane Kiffin take it? I don't think so, no. Is his name going to keep circulating until they hire a coach? Yep. Because that's kind of who Kiffin is.
And it'll be this year's version of John Gruden or whomever Tennessee's kind of infatuated with for a little while, and then we'll go from
there. Now, I can tell you who it won't be.
Okay.
It won't be Hugh Freeze.
Don't think so. I think he's down the list.
It won't be Hugh Freeze. And I don't think it's going to be Kevin Steele. I'll give you a name. Give you a name to really watch it at Tennessee.
Okay.
Tony Elliott, the Clemson assistant coach.
Really?
Keep an eye on Tony Elliott.
Clemson's hurt Tennessee. They're one of the ones that have gotten into some markets.
Keep a close eye on Tony Elliott. Keep an eye on Jamie Chadwell. Keep an eye, but don't spend much time on it. Don't put much of your eye on Billy Napier, but I'd put him on my list if I were putting a hot board together. I'd put him down the list. No, I would not put Kiffin on the list. I'd put Elliott at the top. I'd put Josh Heupel on the list just because White's worked with him at UCF.
Yeah.
They might do an NFL kind of a thing. They have some options. They could do that. I don't think it's going to be Kevin Steele, but I don't think. Here's the thing at Ole Miss, and everybody's going to have to accept this. This Kiffin rumors are never going away. And one of these days, they'll be right. If you believe what I believe, which is that Ole Miss is going to be a pretty good team next year, this thing's going to pop up everywhere next year. By the way, let's see. I got a super chat from
Cole.
Oh, is it Cole?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it. Yeah, there's Cole. Cheers, boys. Starting off with some Trim Tab Brewery beer tonight. I've never heard of that.
Birmingham.
Oh, how about that?
It's a Birmingham brewery.
Do massage parlors offer credit? I don't know.
I mean, I would assume for the right customers, sure, right? I mean, any business would offer credit to the people that they are most familiar with.
I would think if you're a frequent visitor, it'd be like Norm at Cheers.
Why not?
Norm had quite the tab.
Oh, yeah.
You ever see Norm pay for a beer on Cheers? Were you into Cheers at all?
I've watched it. I feel like I need to go back as I get older because it's one of the ones that I don't know that I appreciate, that I kind of think is overrated, but I think it may be because of age or different things. I probably spare time sitting around while I'm doing something else, probably ought to turn it on and give it another shot. It never resonated with me when I tried to watch it back in the day.
I loved Cheers back in the day, and I'm a little older than you, so
sure.
yeah. So
do you think you paid his tab?
I don't know.
Well, he hadn't run it up for years.
Well, sometimes the storylines would be about Norm's tab.
About how it needs to get paid?
Well, they would say Norm, he wanted to order a beer, and Cliff would buy him a beer. And Norm would pile the tab up. Because he always came in and just got the same thing. All he ever got was beer on draft.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simple man.
Yeah.
Don't need nothing with an umbrella in it.
Yeah, Cole says you want rumors. If you don't like rumors, then Luke is your man.
Well, I mean, look.
It's
what you're getting with Lane. You get Neal and I were talking about this with something else today. I mean, you get the whole package. You get the rumors, you get the win, you get everything. You get the Lane Kiffin experience. That's what you get.
The whole thing.
And it just hangs out, so it doesn't. I mean,
it hangs out. Yeah, I like the Cheers theme song too. That's a good song.
Everybody knows the theme song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Boston?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, because Sam Malone was a former Red Sox pitcher.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Mayday Malone.
That's right.
Yeah. He was the womanizer. What was the woman?
Oh, Seinfeld's the best network TV comedy. It's not close.
Who was the woman that came in? She bought the bar, and Sam spent forever trying to get in her pants.
Oh
God, it's gonna drive me crazy. Someone's got to come to the rescue here in the thing.
It's not diet.
She got in trouble. She's real politically active. She's kind of right wing now. Oh, what is her name? Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts. We'll figure it out in a minute. No, it wasn't Diane. Diane was the blonde.
Rebecca.
It was
Kirstie Alley.
Rebecca Howell, played by Kirstie Alley.
Yeah,
that's right.
Howell. No L's. Howell. Howe.
Howe. Okay, I thought it was Howell too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howell.
Sam.
Neal would probably say
the Sam and Diane relationship made you want to just break stuff because it was like, this doesn't work. Stop.
Probably was like, we talk about shows, movies being the first to like set the. Sam and Diane probably was the first one to kind of like set that type of thing where it's going to be this will they, won't they, it doesn't really work, but everybody kind of roots for them a little bit anyway. I mean, everybody takes that storyline from then on.
Yeah.
Cheers probably started it.
Yeah.
Because like you didn't get that stuff in like Leave It to Beaver or Dick Van Dyke or something. It was Cheers.
Yeah.
The Mary Tyler Moore Show wasn't that. I mean, so maybe you probably have The Office rated over Seinfeld, don't you?
It's close.
I don't, but you probably
really
do.
Close. Probably The Office is 1, Seinfeld's 2, but it is affirmed and Alydar going down the stretch.
Yeah, see, Colby, I completely agree. Seinfeld is freaking hilarious to me.
Oh, it is.
It has aged well in that way. Now, don't worry about the look and whatever, but just the sarcasm, the comedy, the don't give a shit. Because I mean, that's the whole purpose of Seinfeld is. They're bad people who never get caught until the finale, obviously. But
but a lot of The Office is the same thing.
Yeah,
Michael Scott did things that now, if you put that sitcom out today, people would lose their minds. Think about it.
Yeah.
The gay character.
There's a lot you couldn't do now.
The Indian character. I mean, Oscar. The stuff he did with Oscar.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, come on.
Funny as hell, but
when he was going to have to go get a prostate exam, ask Oscar for tips. Yeah. Well, you couldn't do that today.
No. I've never watched The Cosby Show, honestly, much. I don't have a good firm grasp.
That was before your time.
Yeah.
I mean, I
remember the WGN reruns or syndication, but I don't know.
I can remember when that was the NBC big show. And it was appointment television.
I've still never finished The Office.
University Day. Really?
Mm-mm.
No, it was a colonoscopy, that's right. It was not a
prostate exam.
Prostate exam. Yes. It's terrible.
Have you watched all the Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I've watched some of it. See, it does not do for me what it does for a lot of people.
It's funny, but fine. I would rather watch Seinfeld than Curb.
I'd rather watch South Park than Curb.
Okay. Really?
South Park makes me laugh. Not the way Jeffrey does.
Yeah, I mean that's
Jeffrey's is a whole, but it makes me laugh. It's funny. Family Guy is still funny to me. The Simpsons are not.
No, The Simpsons does something funny.
Family Guy is still funny.
Sure. I find The Fresh Prince very watchable, but I don't necessarily find it rewatchable frankly, is The Fresh Prince still on anything? Like, where would you even find The Fresh Prince now?
I don't know. I hadn't seen that in a long time.
I haven't either. And it's not one that pops up on your services that I've noticed.
No.
Now I haven't signed up for Peacock yet, so if it's on Peacock, I don't know it. I think it's the only thing I don't pay for at this point, but I haven't taken the Peacock plunge because a lot of stuff I can find on Hulu or somewhere else. HBO Max has got a good bit of it too.
Yeah.
King of the Hill's funny. I have no problem with that.
King of the Hill's fine. Parks and Rec is very good. I don't know that I've ever watched Malcolm in the Middle. Always Sunny is fine.
Breaking Bad over The Wire, because I think The Wire has some setup and kind of some seasons where I'm not at. I think Breaking Bad is more consistent than The Wire. I also think The Wire and The Sopranos get credit for being so early before we really had critical television the way we even did at Breaking Bad. I think there's bonus points the way you look at it because, when Sopranos comes out, we didn't have anything like that before. It was never like, oh my God, this is like a movie and we're going to analyze every episode and break down arcs and different things. And now we just come to expect that. I mean, TV is the new movie now. So it's completely different as far as how we grade and critique TV series.
Well, Carson and I were doing our NBA show earlier, and I asked him if he knew what tape delay was.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what? No. I mean, it's totally changed. Everything that young people now, and when I say young people, I mean 30 and below, everything is on demand.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even watch television.
Well, no, I mean, and I get this is different. I mean, Carson would have this, but I mean, we had Saturday morning television and different things and cartoons and the commercials and whatever. And now we watch something on, I think it's IMDb TV that you can find a lot of streaming on, but it has commercials and ads in it. And like they'll go to it and Carlene will be like, what the? I mean, it's like freaking out. And it's like, yeah, you got to wait like 3.5 minutes before it comes back. And
did you watch Schitt's Creek?
I was not as high on it as most people. It was not my humor as much as, Yeah,
I loved it. And like The Office, I got so into the characters that at the end, when it ended, I mean, I was in tears watching the end of it. Mm-hmm. And I bought into so many different characters.
Yeah.
The way they built different people and took you on the story ride. I hated for it to end.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Mad Men because I really like dialogue television.
Yeah.
To me, Mad Men is underrated overall. I've got it higher than most people do. I've got West Wing higher than most people do because of Sorkin and
I love
dialogue television.
West Wing's very good.
It's up there. Both those are in my top 5 TV shows from a rewatch standpoint. West Wing and Mad Men.
How do we get to TV from Lane Kiffin and the Tennessee job?
Diane and Cheers.
Sorry.
Somehow.
Yeah.
It went that way. I don't really know, but something like that. Yeah, running through. I feel like there's one more question.
Yeah, we'll take calls. The bottom line on Kiffin is that the name's going to pop up. You're just going to have to deal with it. And you're going to get mad at the media who write his name. They're not making it up because he kind of makes, it's the Auburn thing. He makes calls. And so when they say Lane Kiffin's inquiring about the Auburn job or Lane Kiffin's inquiring about the Tennessee job, they're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with it. It's reality. Nobody kind of wants to hear that. Deal with it. He loves his name out there. He likes to troll. He knows how to troll.
Mm-hmm.
And he's always had a degree of wanderlust.
Yeah.
But leaving Ole Miss for Tennessee right now
come on.
is insanity.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. Dexter is great except for the whole lumberjack thing there at the end. I am curious to see what that remake or that follow-up or sequel or whatever they're calling it is. And then, yeah, Cole, I'm the same way. I mean, How I Met Your Mother has a lot of nostalgia for me. The first 3 seasons are really, really good sitcom television. I stayed with it the whole time. It's kind of the sitcom that I went to college and grew up and kind of young adult with a little bit. But from a rewatch standpoint, it can get rough. It's not one that's going to sit with you for all 10 seasons by any stretch of the imagination.
Hey, caller, who do we have?
Hey, guys, it's Brandon.
Hey, Brandon, what's up?
Not much. So I called last week and asked about Swarber. Called this week. So you can give me an update on John Lester.
He's not the same pitcher that he was in his glory days. I have a huge soft spot for him. So every 5th day, I'll be a Nationals fan. I'll even cheer for Lester against the Cubs. I love him. I think he's great. I think he's a Hall of Famer. He every so often will have a flashback to his old self, and you'll watch him and just enjoy those days. And then he'll have days where he can't really locate, and he gets hit pretty hard. But he busts his ass. He's going to pitch really hard. He's going to try really hard. He's going to give you everything he's got. He's going to show up every 5th day. And even on those days where he gets shelled in the 1st or 2nd inning and he has to stay out there and give you 6, he'll stay out there and give you 6.
Yeah. See, I think he's going to be a great number 4. I mean, he's not going to have a lot of pressure on him. I mean, I think we got probably two of the best left-handers being Lester and Corbin on a 5-man rotation.
Well, on that rotation, you're asking Lester just to be an innings eater. You're asking him just to you're asking him just to be a 500 pitcher to have a 4 ERA. And that might be doable.
Yeah, absolutely.
For $5 million a year, it's a steal.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think the Nats are just setting up that if it doesn't go well, they're signing all these 1-year contracts just to sell big, and which is I'm kind of okay with because their farm system's garbage right now. So maybe they'll get something out of it. This year doesn't go great. So I asked you last year what the Cubs were doing because it seemed like, and you told me they went way over budget with their expansion project and they're trying to save some of that money.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing now? I mean, Is that why they're selling all their assets, trying to?
Yeah,
they don't have any money, or are they actually just trying to rebuild them, or both?
They're using the pandemic as an excuse. They put a lot of money into that area around Wrigley. I don't know if you've been to Chicago in the last couple of years. They have spent a ton of money around Wrigley, the hotel, the for lack of a better word, the shopping center that's across the street.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot there, and they got overextended. Today was a bad day for them. Chris Bryant did an interview with basically Barstool, Redline Barstool, which is a Chicago-based Barstool deal. And he admitted what we've all known, which was a couple years ago, Bryce Harper wanted to go to the Cubs. And the Cubs weren't involved. And he finally admitted, he admitted that Bryce Harper, for those who don't know, Bryce Harper and Chris Bryant both grew up in Las Vegas. They're very good friends, dating back into their childhoods. Their wives know each other. The couples are really good friends. They get together and do couple things. And KB said on the show today that Bryce Harper wanted to be a Cub, and the Cubs just never played. And the truth is, if the Ricketts hadn't screwed up financially, signing whether you think Bryce Harper's a great player or not, and for the record, I do, but whether you do or don't, Bryce Harper in Chicago on the Cubs would have been an absolute superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Great-looking guy, lots of personality.
Yeah, big market.
Big market. He's a home run hitter. He in the middle of that lineup with Rizzo and Bryant and Baez and stuff would have been must-watch television in a sport that needs must-watch television. And for the Cubs not to even flirt with it it's frankly kind of unforgivable.
Yeah, it's big. I'm a huge Harper fan. I've got a 2-year-old son, and his name is Bryce. And I think 3 weeks after he's born, Bryce signed with the Phillies. But I'll hang up and listen after this.
Okay.
Did you keep up with that Michael Brantley situation going on where they have supposedly signed with the Blue Jays, and 2 hours later he was with Houston again? You know the insides of what happened to that? It was on the report, or how did that happen?
I don't know. All right, thanks, Brandon. I don't know the inside of it, other than I think some reporters got it wrong because he ended up in Houston, and the 2 or 3 reporters that I really trust in baseball circles says it was never as close as they said it was.
Really, baby.
What's going on?
Hey, boys, how y'all doing tonight?
How are you?
Well, I promised you I'd get Daddy on the phone, and he's on the phone from White Pine. Daddy?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
What's up, Diddy?
Oh, not a whole lot. A lot of things happening up here in sports, so.
Yeah. What are the Vols going to do? What are your Vols? Who are your Vols going to hire?
Well, you get a new athletic director in 2 or 3 days. There's no telling. They probably have a new football coach by Saturday.
Yeah. Who do you
Here
think?
it comes.
What do you?
And because money isn't an object.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So who's it going to be?
I don't know. It's probably going to be the folks around here. They really got somebody they like a lot.
Yeah. Who's that?
Freeze.
Yes. Let me tell you,
But I don't know.
Diddy.
I don't know if they can hire him or not.
Diddy, it's not going to be Freeze.
It's not going to be him, I don't think. I think it'll be that guy from Buffalo. What's his name? Leopold or Leopold?
Leopold, yeah.
Daddy, I tell you what, Neal.
Yeah.
Last week, Daddy said he'd even put Freeze on our family plan for his phone calls.
Oh.
He's so crazy. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
And I'd give him a credit card that couldn't be traced to anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You ever gotten a massage, Diddy?
What?
Have you ever gotten a massage, Diddy?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No.
No?
No, I got kicked by a cow a bunch of times, but nobody's ever massaged me.
Oh, okay.
Now I've been rubbed the right way, but I wasn't massaged.
Oh. Come on, boy. I got some good news. Tell them what you got yesterday, Daddy.
What?
You got that vaccine.
Oh I got the shot.
Oh, that's
COVID
good.
Stuff.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I'm not running at the mouth or anything.
So you go back.
You got to get your second one in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he got that Pfizer shot because he liked it because it's the same people that make Viagra makes him happy. So, anyway, we just thought we'd give you boys a call and see how it was going. I got a question. Sorry, Daddy. You think we're going to get any of the boys from Tennessee to come play for us that they recruited? You think they'll release them, or how's that going to shake out?
Yeah, they're going to release them. Everybody's going to go after different ones. I wouldn't be surprised if Ole Miss reaches out to a couple of those guys once they get in the portal officially, but everybody else will too. So it's kind of hard to say who's going to end up where.
Yeah.
But Tennessee's not going to fight anybody that wants out. What I was told today, anybody that wants out, they're going to let them out. They've got to move on from this and take their they got to take their beating a little bit.
Yep. So, well, we appreciate you boys and thank y'all for all you do. And Daddy, you got anything left to say?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for not killing me on this call tonight, because I figured it'd say that nothing they can do wrong is going to be worse than what they've already done. So.
Well, I tell you what, the Vols ain't back, Daddy. Ain't going to be back for long. You might as well become an Ole Miss fan, or a Vanderbilt fan. That ain't far either.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yep.
Those are fighting
all
words,
right, well,
Daddy.
You boys have a nice night. We appreciate y'all.
Yep.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Bye.
Man, that was rough.
I know, Mark, I'm sorry, but Tennessee, all the dudes in the transfer portal and the whole thing, that thing found rock bottom and buried another 6-8 feet deep. It's a complete roster
that's what I mean.
Overhaul.
Someone said Kiffin was upset about what happened at USC, and I'm like, he hadn't seen nothing yet. Makes no sense. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is Cole from Houston. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Cole, what's up?
Nothing much. I wanted to hear your hot takes on The Bachelor so far.
I've not seen a second.
You're going to have to kind of guide me through it a little bit. So far, the crazy girl that they've got, she's
only one?
She's the one that they
she's extra crazy.
Yeah.
They have a crazy, they always have one that they promote.
But
she's she's worse than the other crazy. She is beyond crazy.
She sort of dialed it back last week though, because they sort of they sort of cast her in a little different light last week.
They were trying to pin him against Sarah, I think. They were trying to push someone to pin him against Sarah, and so they used Victoria as kind of the good person this week. But the week before, when they were trying on the wedding dresses, my goodness.
Yeah. But
they tried on wedding dresses?
They all had to try on wedding dresses, and that was a weird.
Seems like it's jumping the shark a little bit.
It is jumping the shark.
It was a lot jumping the shark. But I don't know, the last episode, I don't know if you watched, where they had to read the stories.
Oh yeah,
that was so uncomfortable.
Well, the one that was funny was the one that, and I guess that was it Victoria? She's the crazy one. Hers was all beep 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 beep. It was all completely blanked. That was funny. I laughed hard at that.
Yeah, same. Quick question, Chase. Who do you? I don't mean to turn gears, but who do you think will be the midweek starter for baseball this season?
I think I'd like to know what Greer Holston does and what that looks like, because I don't know how you want to use him. Ole Miss has got so many options on the back end with Chofie and Miller and Broadway and Forsythe that if you could turn Holston into that midweek starter or the long guy if some starter blows up on the weekend at some point, but you're still in the game, like a Sunday or something, I think that's probably the most likely deal. So if you told me right now, I think Ole Miss would have a very dominant fourth starter for him, because I think Mike keeps the rotation as is. Obviously Doug and Gunnar are going to pitch on Friday and Saturday respectively. But if it were completely open going into the year, given how Greer pitched last fall, I do wonder if he could challenge Derek for that third spot. Now, look, I think Derek's going to be the third guy. I don't think it's really up for a debate or really even a competition. But the way Mike's talked about Greer, some of the numbers, some of the advanced metrics I saw from him in the fall, he's got to prove it in the spring, but that's the only thing that kind of eats at me as I start covering this team a little bit as it gets close and gets here is I think he would be at least in the running were Derek not a returning starter versus just a newcomer coming in, and they were kind of on even playing field, but they're not. So I think Derek will at least start off in that Sunday role.
I could see Holston being used in kind of this is an unfair comparison, I get it, but kind of a Scott Biddle role, taking the ball in the sixth and finishing the game.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? And Mike has so many options in that back end. I think he's going to do a lot of that anyway. I think he's going to hand the ball he's going to get to the bullpen quick. I mean, he's not going to tarry because he's got so many arms back there. So, yeah, I think he'll go to a Chope or somebody in the sixth and ride him out for 2 or 3 and see how long it can go because – frankly, he knows he's got another guy coming, and he's got enough to kind of let everybody have that one game a weekend and then move on. So, yeah, I think Holston, he is that super reliever, midweek starter, just kind of a Swiss Army knife a little bit because he's proven that he can throw, 65 to 85 pitches in an outing for sure.
Yeah, he's way too good to use against Arkansas State or no offense, Neal, ULM in the mid. Oh, you're not fans anymore.
No, I disassociate.
Well, they do play a lot of Tech in the midweek. Are we running into any issue there?
Okay, so. All right, real quick aside here. While you're on the phone, Cole, you can help determine this. Because I did not commit the other day. I talked about committing. I was going to pursue and edit the whole deal. You don't have to technically graduate from an institution to be an alumnus.
Okay.
I have 12 credit. That's what I was told today. And if you hear it on the internet, it must be true. I have 12 credit hours from Louisiana Tech. I have a lot of history with Louisiana Tech. My father taught at Louisiana Tech for 22 years.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines alumnus as a person who has attended or graduated from a particular school.
Graduated.
Yeah.
So or is the key word. Or.
So, who has attended.
Well, I have attended Louisiana Tech.
I mean, close enough. Yeah, you can go claim that. I don't think there's any rule for this. So, yeah, why not take Tech? I mean, if Ole Miss disassociated you and I wouldn't want to root for a team coached by Rich Rodriguez either. So
no,
they're
out.
Take Tech.
I'm done with ULM. I mean, I spent a month publicly pursuing the job, didn't get a call, no one responded to me at all, and then they hired Terry Bowden and Rich Rodriguez. Man, go screw yourselves. I'm out.
He was on Feinbaum today.
Yeah.
Terry was on Feinbaum today.
What did he say?
Oh, I didn't watch. I saw it on the Twitter.
I mean, if they'd hired Will Healy or somebody, you'd probably understand that one. But
yeah, of
Terry
course.
Bowden, come on.
I mean, when literally you hire somebody who would do worse than me, that's wrong. I mean, I would do a better job as the head football coach at ULM than Terry Bowden.
Oh, I believe it.
When he goes 0-12.
And you're actually saying you're being serious on this one.
I'm being totally serious. I would not do as badly as he's going to do. Because I wouldn't have hired Rich Rodriguez as my offensive coordinator. I would have hired somebody from, I don't know, not the Stone Age to be my offensive coordinator. And then I would have let him run the offense. No joke.
What's Terry's thing? What's his specialty?
Not quite being dead yet.
Losing. That's a specialty.
And losing a lot.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks,
good weekend.
So, Louisiana Tech is I'm an alumnus.
An alumnus.
Kind of sounds like an illuminist.
He tried.
He did. How many followers is he up to now? Do you know?
I don't know. It hasn't updated on my page. I've got to I'd have to go back to it.
Hey, who do we have?
Yeah, Bennett from Oxford.
Hey, Bennett, what's up?
Nothing. I just got to say I'm really disappointed with how lame that fight was.
The fight.
I've watched it like 30 times, and I'm not even really sure what happened still.
I'm not really sure who was in it.
I've seen more aggressive hugging at a family reunion.
So my phone blows up this morning with the big fight, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so I kept asking questions. Was anybody arrested? No. Were there charges filed? No. Well, then why are we talking about this?
Is anyone hurt? No.
And then the video comes out, and I'm like, really? That's it? That was my question. You were in the chat. I said, that's it? And the answer was yeah. And I'm like, well,
okay.
Can I have that hour of my life back, please? Who do I sue?
Was there a punch thrown? An actual closed fist punch. Was one thrown?
I couldn't tell if a punch or if it was just sort of one of those push things. But the guy was already kind of down.
Yeah, it was just sort of a mangled pile.
Yeah,
and credit to the bouncers, they got in very fast.
They did.
It was a very expert.
They handled it well.
Just the amount of hype. I just kind of felt like that one McGregor fight where it was like all hyped up all day, and then dude got knocked out in 3 seconds.
It was Tyson.
I don't know what I was expecting.
It was Tyson Michael Spinks.
I mean, it was because the video came into my phone as a text message. I was like, oh, and then you kind of hit it, and you're going, can't wait to see what this is, and it was like, oh, all right, cool, great.
It was 4 seconds of drunken passion.
Oh, you've seen a lot more brutal baseball bench clearings where they don't actually do anything. They just kind of walk up and chest bump one another on the way back to the dugout.
Oh, but I've seen baseball fights that surpassed this one.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'll let y'all be. Have a good night.
All right. Thanks, Bennett.
I don't expect much disciplinary action coming from this.
Well, how could you?
Altercation.
You can't even tell who did what
at all.
Hey,
yeah, just calling in.
Hey, who's this?
That's Kenny.
Hey, turn your device down there.
All right, done.
There you go. It's King, you said, or
no, Kenny.
Kenny. Okay. Hey, Kenny, what's up?
Oh, nothing much. I want to ask him about Jeremy Pruitt.
Okay. What about him?
I want to ask how he doesn't know how to do the hiding the money handouts.
How he doesn't know how to do the cheating thing better after spending some time at Alabama? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
It's a very valid question.
It's a fair question. I don't know. He's got the reputation of being a meathead.
He does.
And so it's possible. Listen, one of the things that I'll say is that just because someone's in a position of power where they make a lot of money, it doesn't mean they're smart. And a lot of times,
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so there are some really smart football coaches, and there are some football coaches who are not really smart, who make a lot of money, yet they're total meatheads. And when you talk to them for more than 5 minutes, you're like, man, I don't know how that guy survives. And he's one of those guys. And he's apparently a very good defensive coach who let that program get completely out of control. He made some bad hires. You can't just screw kids over. You've got to understand that the kids have the goods on you, and so you've got to treat them the right way. And you can't just run coaches off the way that he did and not expect any retribution. But he did, and here we are. And then you lose on top of that, and no one's going to protect you. They were looking for a reason to fire him and not pay him, and there you have it.
Okay.
Basically, Kenny, it's this. The ones who know how to do this have plausible deniability. Like where if you were to say to them, with True Serum, do you know what X player got? They would be able to honestly tell you, no. Now, do they know the player got something? Yeah, of course. But do they know specifically what the player got and from who he got it and how that all transpired? Nope, they don't.
Did you run this example out in like a department store for somebody one time when they asked you this? Did you like use some props from like some?
Probably did.
Yeah, you like use like prop like hey, can you get the watches out of the counter or like whatever it was? And it's like, well, okay, see, Saban's over here, and then Recruit's over here, and then look at all these right here in the middle.
Yeah.
And you got to get through all these to get to this.
Yeah.
Because see, that was my question. Is it possible that Tennessee's so crazy that they're I'm using network colloquially. Is it possible their network is just so overeager that it can't shut up and maintain and do the right things from a layering standpoint? I mean, could that be where the breakdown is here even more than Pruitt? Because, I mean,
no.
I know we only see Vol Twitter, but this thing's psychic.
I just thought he would learn something.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
So,
Yeah, but not everybody learns. And I'll tell you this. I'll tell you all this, a little breaking rumor mill here stuff here. Multiple people that I've talked to in the last 2 days tell me the NCAA is absolutely what's the word I would use?
Licking its chops.
Sure, that's probably the more favorable. I was going to use a different analogy. They are licking their chops to get after Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I've heard that too.
Yeah. I was going to say aroused, but licking their chops is better.
Well, I'm glad it's not us for a change. So, okay. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
But the call's coming in fast and furious tonight. I'm glad. Good to see. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, it's a regular size Ben.
Hey, Ben.
What's going on, guys? Is
Oh.
this a Tennessee call-in show or the Auburn call-in show? I'm trying to decide from the chat.
It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything, you know. I mean,
the neighbors come over and play a little bit on Thursdays.
We have conversations. We're not limited to one subject. I said that a long time ago. If we do one subject, this isn't going to work, and so you know the rest.
Amen. Hey, I don't have a lot tonight. I got a question, I guess for Chase, but Neal, obviously I'd like your opinion too. But every time Ely's mentioned, Chase is like, that's NFL running back, and Grimes brought up in the comments that Snoop need to transfer. See, Snoop's my number one tailback if I'm running the system. And here's my question though. All right, why is Ely automatically NFL running back? Like every time you mention his name, when he compares more to Jeff Scott and Jalen Walton.
No. He compares more to Alvin Kamara.
But Snoop, I'm talking about as far as in college at Ole Miss, and Snoop compares more to Jordan Wilkins and Brandon Bolden. And I'm gonna hang up and listen to what y'all got to say about it.
Okay. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Ely's for sure bigger than Jalen. That one, that's a different
I'm gonna take this
deal.
call until they got a hold.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, caller, hang tight real quick. Let us answer this. We'll get to you. Hang tight. Go ahead.
Snoop and Bolden's not a terrible comparison.
No, it's not bad.
That's a pretty apt comparison.
Yeah.
And if Brandon found a niche and did some things. Now we don't
special
know.
Teams.
Now we don't know how Snoop, because he has not ever been the featured back to do this, where Ole Miss has thrown the football. We don't know how he catches the ball in the backfield, how he does tons of blocking when he plays a ton of snaps per game. Ely's just got those gears and different things where he, especially in today's NFL, it's a different deal. I mean, he can get out in space. He can help you in every way imaginable. So yeah, that's where that is. Now look, Snoop has value if he decides to stay and hang out, and he's turned into a damn good goal line back. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But with Ely and Parrish, you just wonder about his carries and chances of getting playing time between the 20s.
You mentioned Parrish?
I did.
Yeah.
I
just kind of like to talk about Parrish.
Okay.
I mean, if I ever get an Ole Miss jersey, it's going to be Parrish's number. He's so good. That second cut that he makes.
Whew. This is the most excited you've been about a running back in a while.
Oh, if he gets a little stronger?
Yeah.
That second cut he makes you can't coach that. That second cut is better than Ely's second cut.
It is. The second cut.
The second cut.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. You can't coach that. That's an elite NFL second cut. Now, there's other things he's got to do.
He could be doing this for a while, caller, so anytime you're ready, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, caller. Go ahead.
Hey, Neal, Chase, Stephen from Louisiana. How are y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Stephen. Where in Louisiana are you?
Alexandria.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You an Alexandria Senior High guy or who?
No, I'm actually Vidalia, Louisiana Senior High.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
we played a game my senior year.
School coach there.
Oh, okay. We played a game at Ash my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, question for y'all. As far as the coach, the direction that Tennessee, whoever they hire, are they going to have to go like a Matt Rule type of contract?
given the uncertainty that they have.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the rumor, is that they're going to have to do something along those lines. Do something extensive that has security, which is another reason Lane Kiffin makes absolutely no sense there. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, I look, they're going to get hit really hard, and the NCAA operates slowly, as Ole Miss people know, and so we're talking, 2 years at a minimum before you even get everything adjudicated.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
At a minimum.
2 years, yeah.
And so then you have the penalties that come.
Especially depending on COVID stuff, honestly, because everybody's short-staffed.
This could be a 4 or 5 year process.
Right. And then I have one more question for y'all. This LSU, and I have so many family. I've got 2 uncles graduated law school from LSU, and so I have to hear it all the time. But they live in a world of, they do not believe anything's going on as far as the sexual assault. When you bring it up, they're like, "What are you talking about?" I mean, it's almost like they live in their own fantasy. I don't know if you've heard that or where that's going, or any updates on that.
Well, I mean, there's multiple investigations, and things just take forever, and there's only so many people at the NCAA. It's not like they have this force of thousands that go out and do these investigations, so they have to prioritize, and I don't know where LSU is in that pecking order. I really don't. I will say this, that every time that I look at an LSU basketball game and Will Wade's on the sideline, I think, if I'm a coach, I don't know how you don't just start throwing money at people.
Just cheat like hell.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you. Yeah.
All right, thank y'all. Y'all are doing an awesome job. Keep it up.
Thank you, Stephen. Our thanks to we catch up on a couple of super chats here.
Sure.
JM, he says, I keep missing the live version of Chasing the Ring, so here's a $5 to contribute to Carson's PS5 fund. We need more of him and less of Neal. I agree. He's starting to talk more. It's taking him a minute. I've done a little more podcasting in my life and radio in my life than Carson has, so he's catching up. He's doing.
Does the camera bother him at all, or is he ignore it?
The light bothers him a little.
Light.
He's adjusting to it some, and at the end of the day, he's a little. There's some yawns, and we're working on it. He's getting better. He's week 3 was better than week 2, which was better than week 1. So we're in the right process. And then Webb says, thanks for the super chat, Webb. He says, do you think UT's sanctions will be worse than Ole Miss's? What are your thoughts? Do you think they have? Do you think they have a complete exodus from the UT program? They have a lot of young talent on the team. Enjoy the peanuts. The peanuts are great, Webb. You should put the link in the.
They're phenomenal.
The Redskin. You had those, the Redskin peanuts?
And see, I like both the other ones better.
Oh, man.
I like the honey roasted the best, and then I like was it the Southern style, Webb?
Yeah,
what they are?
Yeah, they're all good. Those Redskins are phenomenal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do I think they're worse in the end? Yes. Yes, I do. I think they're going to get hit worse.
We don't know exactly what's there, but yeah, every sign points to it being worse.
The numbers are so out of control.
It looks like it.
Do they have a complete exodus? Yes, they're going to have a lot of kids leave. It's a total rebuild. Yeah. And then Tyler says, Neal, Chase, the board needs answers. Who's deleting the threads?
Well, I am, because
I did not delete a group thread today.
I mean, there are women and children on the board. I mean, we let some stuff go, but my God, guys, I mean, you're going to get deleted on that kind of stuff. And just putting those 4 letters there does not mean carte blanche, just whatever you'd like to throw out there. I mean, yeah, come on. Yeah, no, it's 100%. I was kind to not just start throwing band hammers constantly, but we were trying to get along. Okay.
Colby says R-word peanuts. Yikes. Yeah, I know. Can you? Well, the skins on those peanuts are red, and they're on the. It says Redskin peanuts.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't feel like that makes me a bad person. All right, here we go. Hey, who do we have?
Hey, this is David from Georgia.
Hey, David, what's up?
Yeah, I got my main question tonight is, now I understand completely that cheating is going to happen in college football, but if you go back and look at under Mike Slive, he kept it under wraps. Now that we've got Sankey in there, not only have you had the Ole Miss situation, You had another school. You had Mississippi State snitching on them. You got LSU. You got Tennessee. You got Georgia. And you just said earlier tonight that the NCAA is just dying to go after Georgia.
Yeah.
How much longer can Sankey keep his job with all of this going on, especially when you look at Slav? And Slav kept everybody in line and under control.
It's a fair question.
It's a very valid point as time is moving on because, look, Slav came in and goes, hey, we're going to clean it up. And when he said it the first time, media and everybody went, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then he did.
Have a good job, 5'8" commissioner. Yeah, go in there and handle those things. But no, he had the stick and he was the bulldog and he went in. He did. He cleaned it up.
I'm going to ask both of y'all a question. I'm going to ask Chase and David. Is Greg Sankey's biggest mistake? Because I think he thinks this, and I'm going to tell you why. So hear me out for a second, both of you.
Okay.
I'm going to ask a question, and then I'm going to make a statement, and then I'm going to I'll stop talking. Is Greg Sankey's biggest mistake not forcing Ole Miss to fire Hugh Freeze?
You mean during his tenure?
At the beginning. And the reason I ask is because no matter what he says, I am absolutely convinced, based on conversations I've had today, that there is an absolute ban on hiring Hugh Freeze in the SEC.
Okay, when, though? At the beginning. What does that mean? Real quick, sorry.
The first notice of allegations. And certainly, I know, but certainly the second notice of allegations.
So back to our conversation
the other day, late January of 2016.
I don't think that he would have been right in forcing Ole Miss to fire Hugh Freeze after the first NOA. Now, after the second NOA came out, Sankey should have forced him to fire him. Now, also in saying that, Sankey should have put his foot down with the whole Leo Lewis thing when that was going on with Ole Miss's investigation. He should have said, look, guys, this ain't happening. You're not doing this. Because I guarantee you Slav would have been like, Slav would have had him fire Freeze, but he damn sure wouldn't have let Mississippi State rat on Ole Miss.
There's no doubt. No doubt about that.
And I'm just curious, how much longer can this guy last? Because you can't have a commissioner who is, one guy who was, I don't know how long Slav was there, 10, 15 years?
And a dozen for sure because he replaced Roy Kramer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Slav was there for 10 or 15 years and not a whiff of anybody being looked into by the NCAA because he handled it. Now you've got this guy. I don't know how long he's been there. 5 years?
Give or take.
And he's got almost half the damn conference has been investigated by the NCAA.
How long has Greg Sankey been the commissioner?
I'll look it up. But here's the problem with what you're talking about, and I agree with you. I actually agree with absolutely everything you're saying. Is I think it would be a bigger deal and something we'd be talking about a whole lot more than we are, were it not for Sankey getting this season played under COVID. This buys him a different thing, a positive. It takes what we're talking about out of the conversation, where it's got to, frankly, get even worse before it pops back up, or the pandemic's got to end and we get back into some normalcy and that kind of thing. It's going to be a topic if he doesn't fix it, but he's got kind of this honeymoon period now by getting that season played.
And I agree with you 100% on that, but I'm telling you, and as much, oh my God, I live in Georgia. If the NCAA was to hammer Georgia, I would do backflips over here because I heard nothing but Ole Miss is the biggest cheater in the history of their SMU 2.0.
I can tell you this, and I'm going to be careful about how I say this. The most powerful person in the SEC is not Greg Sankey.
It's Nick Saban.
Yeah, and so when I'm going to go back to I like the speed limit analogy because I think it makes some sense.
It does.
It does.
So the speed limit's 70, and it's understood that everybody's going 84, okay? And that sometimes 84 means 87 because sometimes you have to hit the gas to pass the car. I get it. But what's happened in the league is that a couple of schools, a couple of cars have started going 100, 105, and they like it. And they're they're never. Hold on 1 second, David. I promise. I'm gonna let you talk. They never come back to 82, 83.
No, they're autobahning.
They've started accelerating and accelerating and accelerating, and here's what's happened. And this is where if Sankey doesn't get this under control, it's going to blow up. The police are seeing them go that fast and not doing anything about it. And then they're pulling over the car going 86, and that car's getting pulled over, and when the window rolls down and they say, "Can we see your license and registration?" He's like, "I just got passed by that red and black car. Did you see it go by me? Because it was going. You're right, officer. I'm going too fast, but that car's going 20 miles an hour faster than me." And he's saying, "I really don't care, sir. I'm writing your ticket." And you call and you say, "How much is the ticket?" And they say it's $600. And you're like, "It's what?" And you're getting pissed, and that's what's happening. There's a lot of people having to pay $600 tickets, knowing that other people are breaking the rule worse than they are, and it can't stay like this.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
The thing is,
okay.
Nick Saban took over at Alabama, and Alabama went from doing 90 to doing 110, and by God, you're not going to pass Alabama.
Well, and see, Sly
was but here's the thing. Here's the thing on that. The secret to their success is that on the speed limit thing is they don't go 105. When they realize it's going to take 105, they wait, they drop back. That's the secret to their success. They go 87, 88, 86, 87, 88, 90. They don't go 105. When they see 105, they drop out. They didn't sign anybody out of Horn Lake.
No, they didn't sign anybody out of Horn Lake. But
who did?
I mean, I can't remember who
Georgia.
did.
Georgia did. No,
Georgia did.
LSU did.
Linebacker.
LSU did. Georgia did. Alabama stays out of those.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just. I've been curious about that, and another thing is like with what Tennessee is facing. I mean, the thing that's killing me about that is, would any like the guy at Clemson, would he seriously take that job unless he was getting like $7 million a year when he knows that we are about to get absolutely hammered by the NCAA? It could be 6 years before I have a winning team.
Yeah, I don't know whether he'll take it. I think
Tennessee going to wait that long?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just was told tonight by several people that keep an eye on Elliott, from people that would know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I had tonight, guys.
Okay.
Thanks,
David.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
That is one thing, though, is Sankey has not shown the ability to cut this thing off early, whereas Slive would just call that's the way it happened. He'd call the school and go, "Hey, stop recruiting that guy. That's it. You're done. Quit.
It's over.
Yeah. No more.
Yeah.
Move on. We'll figure it out."
And then he'd call the other school and go, "Stop.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Shut the F up."
Yeah. I fixed it. Now move on.
Yeah, or else. But that's where I think there was that moment when Wesley McGriff left Ole Miss to go to the Saints, and I think there was a call that was made. I know it. There was a call that was made.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hey, here's your chance.
Just put him on the field.
Put him on the field or fire him. But I'm tired of hearing about this. And he was like, "I'm going to do it my way." And he goes and hires Corey Batoon. And they keep doing the thing. And the league keeps bitching, and at some point Sankey was like, "All right, I'm out."
Yeah.
And then we get back to the 2016 conversation where I know you think you're right, and I think 99% of the people agree with you, and I don't necessarily think you're wrong, but I'm telling you the answer there, the one moment there to get out of it, and it would have taken an Andy Reid set, was to fire him in January of 2016, 3 weeks after the Sugar Bowl. can't even imagine. But I think it would have ended it.
I still just can't. In that environment at that moment, I
get it. No, I get it. I understand both sides of the discussion. It's the great debate. We could do multiple shows on it. I get it. But I think it goes away at that point.
Well, okay.
Would you be better off today?
But you don't know what's happening. I mean,
you wouldn't have lost 20-something scholarships. You wouldn't have had a 2-year bowl ban. You wouldn't have the reputation. You wouldn't get dragged through the mud. You would have had a fall guy.
Who you hiring at the time?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Big Ben Wall.
Hey, Big Ben.
All right, I have one question, and we really just need to be able to understand this better. Okay. How did Slive have the ability and capital to make those calls, and like what was the stick that he could use on these teams to actually have that ability?
He was just kind of a godfather, man. He was just kind of a gangster.
But I mean, say Hugh Freeze just stopped listening to Slive. What powers of the commissioner could Slive actually use to punish the school? Like, where was the threat?
He'd go behind him. Everyone feared him. They feared him. I mean, I don't know.
Saying, like, Goodell can fine you and suspend you. Like, if Ole Miss just goes, no, we're going to compete with Alabama, we're going to go 110. Slive says, y'all can't do that. You're going too crazy. Is he just going to tell the NCAA and burn you? Like, what is it? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I don't know. For whatever reason, he called the big meeting where he looked everybody in the eye and he goes, it stops here. Here are the rules. And for whatever reason, people followed him.
No, I agree with you completely on Sankey versus Slive. I was just kind of curious on like where the actual like implied power with Slive was.
People would use the word gangster to me.
I've heard that.
They would call him Tony Soprano. They would say he's different than what you think. He's this really nice.
Definitely more Vito Corleone than Tony Soprano.
They would say that when he was in the meeting room, there was absolutely no doubt in a room full of huge egos. I mean, Saban and Spurrier and those kinds of cats, that there was absolutely no doubt who was running that meeting.
Yeah, sure.
And just as a follow-up, so if I don't know if I want to say his name, if what's his name was on the field instead of Batoon, BF.
Yeah, Barney.
Would he? Barney. If Barney was on the field instead of Batoon, is it better for Ole Miss right now? Not right now, obviously. We're doing good. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That simple?
Yeah.
So you can cheat if the coach is on the field, but when he's an analyst, it just doesn't work.
Well, because they were using the loophole too, though. He was getting to go out and at that point, because you got to remember some rules changed too. At that point, you had to be an on-field staff to
remind me. He was basically
Warner because of Dan's personal situations. Barney got to go on the road as long as Dan wasn't on the road. So they're going, hey, you've got this mercenary over here, for lack of a word, and your quarterback's coach is not out recruiting, but you got him just kind of doing everything. I mean, it was kind of whatever anyway, and then on top of it, when he was kind of the person handling all the situations and all the stuff, yeah, it got even more kind of dicey after that.
Well, yeah, I saw that firsthand, so I'm not going to name names, but when I was at Ole Miss, there was a player from Mississippi who had a friend who was working with the football team in a capacity, and, he never actually did any work. He was just hanging out in Barney's office. I mean, so I saw that firsthand, so I understand how that played out. Like, we knew what Barney was doing, and, so that makes sense then.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's a complicated thing, and I think there's a grudge there, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a grudge between Sankey and Freeze. And Freeze wants an SEC job.
He does.
He wants an SEC job. He feels like he has something to prove. And I'm telling you, I don't think he's close to one. He has a 0 chance at the Tennessee job. 0.
Yeah, following
no chance.
Live, like, how can Sankey say...
Even without the...
Like, if Tennessee hires Freeze, what can Sankey do?
It's a good question, and I don't know that I know enough about exactly how this works to answer it. It's one of those things that he can just make it really uncomfortable.
I see what you're saying.
And I mean, you look, you don't want to walk in and make an enemy of the SEC commissioner. That's not a smart move, and that's not a smart play. It's one thing to say, hey, we're going to be, F it, balls to the wall, and screw everybody, and we're going to be the college football version of the Raiders. But do you really want to do that there's more to it than a football program. You've got basketball, and you've got all these women's sports, and you've got all this other stuff that you got to deal with, and you're not running. College athletics doesn't make a lot of sense, really, when you evaluate it from a bottom line standpoint. I mean, you're running all these programs that make no money, but you got. There's just a lot there. You don't want the commissioner to not be on your side. It's just not a grand idea.
So Tennessee couldn't go to Sankey, look, and have a meeting with Freeze and be like, look, we're going to watch him. We're going to make sure he's on his best behavior.
No, I think Freeze would have to have a meeting with Sankey where he convinced Sankey that Tennessee could hire him.
Yeah.
And if you know Hugh, that's not the way he's wired.
No, he's definitely not going to do that. No.
So it's a stalemate.
Well, because it was really nothing at all. But Lane said that day his first call was to Sankey, just hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah,
good to be back, that kind of stuff. Just checking in.
Don't think Keith Carter didn't check with the SEC first.
You good? All right.
That's actually a good point because Kiffin left Tennessee in sanctions, and then he just comes strolling back in like it's no big deal.
Yeah,
so,
these calls get made. It's like you don't get the Republican or Democratic nomination without some people doing some stuff in the back. You know what I mean? Well,
that's how what's his name? Tim Kaine was VP.
Yeah,
that happens. There's deals.
Big business. Stuff happens and then everybody puts a happy face on it.
Yeah. All right. This was really what I was curious about. It was like the whole Sankey slide thing. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Ben. Thanks.
We have a box, don't we?
Oh, we do have boxes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that. I was going to forget it again. I opened this one because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
I think it's for you. Were you the one wearing the Air Force hat?
Yeah, the Marine cap's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's from our friend Kenneth Morgan, by the way.
The Air Force struck a nerve with Kenneth. So
he did. He was really worked up about it. Remind me, we have one more box. You should put that on and make him feel better.
Do you want to go ahead and get it now, or you want to wait?
We'll get it in a second. Hey, caller, who's this?
Hey, everybody. This is Mark Columbus.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
Well, yeah. Figure since this is the Tennessee call-in show, I'd call in, give my 2 cents. I'm off the ledge after today's news.
Feel better now?
I don't feel great. We got dark days ahead, but this was a good day. I can't believe they did it. I mean, it's just so
paying them a lot of money.
What are they paying?
$1.8 million.
Plus paying the buyout.
$2.5 million buyout.
Wow, how about that?
Tennessee doesn't do that. So I fully expected them to go hire John Gilbert because he worked at Tennessee in the past. That's just kind of what they do, but they didn't.
What's John Curry doing these days? He's hanging out?
Wake Forest.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where he belongs.
He and Dan still tight?
Running all the messages? The current retiring athletic director getting $36,000 a month for the next 3 years. Isn't that just perfect, Philip Fulmer?
Wouldn't you guess Philip knows where all the skeletons are buried?
He's got friends with deep pockets, I guess. I don't know. But I'm pretty, it's a good day, and people are off the ledge, because I was like, this thing's dead for 7 years. Because as you guys have taught me, the limbo that you're in with the NCAA is a lot worse than the penalties are.
So who do you think they're hiring?
Chadwell, I guess.
Okay.
But this White, man, he kind of goes out of the box a little bit with his hire. He's hired great coaches everywhere he's been. Nate Oates, Bobby Hurley, Leopold.
He has made really good hires.
Scott Frost, Heupel. Now, Tennessee fans are nuts thinking Lane's going to come. I just don't see it.
No.
I don't want to, I just don't.
No.
I'm not going to go there.
It makes no sense on any front. It makes no sense for Tennessee. It makes no sense for Lane.
What can he do at Tennessee right now that he can't do at Ole Miss?
Well, if you're Tennessee, what do you need in this hire? You need stability. Lane Kiffin, if I tell you to say 6 words attached to Lane Kiffin, stability is not one of them.
And no offense to Ole Miss fans, but Lane doesn't care what the logo is on the shirt.
No,
he just wants to know that the university is giving him everything he needs to win.
Yeah, and that applies, by the way, to 95% of coaches.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know, no doubt.
I mean, they're mercenaries.
He's not alone in that. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, sure. Of course.
You know, he just – that –
Chadwell makes sense for them. Elliott makes sense for them. Leopold, to some degree, makes sense for them.
I heard Bill O'Brien today.
I've heard Bill O'Brien, too, and that makes some sense. Bill O'Brien's a very stable guy, knows how to build a program. He inherited that train wreck at Penn State that was worse than whatever Tennessee ends up with. It won't be as bad as what Penn State was, and he did a really good job there. He would make some sense.
You think Pruitt gets paid anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, because they don't want that fight.
No. But the thing is, maybe you just say, well, our dirty laundry's already out there, so.
Not like Pruitt could put it out there.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I think Pruitt can make it real ugly, because considering 5-star basketball players don't go to school for just tuition and room and board, and Tennessee's got like 3 of them on its roster after being kind of a run-of-the-mill recruiting program for the last 15 years. I don't think they want to go there. In a baseball program that got a top 5 class with the worst facilities in the SEC.
I promise they didn't cheat, Mark.
No, they just wanted to play. I mean, I've been to Knoxville. It's incredible.
I mean,
it's
you
so
hear
nice.
Rocky Top one time, and you're just
and just
enamored.
those. And when the leaves turn in the fall, I mean, I can't tell you how many top recruits that I've talked to, and I'm like, "What are you looking for?" And they're like, "I want a place that, when the leaves turn in the fall, it's just very peaceful and serene."
And they hear that Rocky Top one time, and they're just enamored. I mean, it just.
Well, and that flotilla of boats on the river there, Calhoun's, the Ribs. It's just who wouldn't, right?
I mean, who would?
I mean, yeah. There was a World's Fair there once. I mean, there's just so much to talk about.
Well, the sun's fair. I mean, yeah. Go over to Gatlinburg. I know J.G. Tate loves Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a great place to go to college and play football.
No doubt.
That's what That's according to Philip Fulmer the other day.
You're making me run through a wall right now.
No, you're running through a power T.
Around a power T and the arches.
Through that power T,
the golden arches. The memes have been great. All right.
Number of McDonald's restaurants in Knoxville.
Yeah, no telling them it's in the bags. It's a great place to go. Yeah,
it's a great place.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mark. Chase, Kenneth wants to see your hat.
Okay.
So put your hat on. Rocky Top is a good song. I mean, it's a good song.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with Rocky Top
it's a
at all.
good song. The stuff that YouTube flags.
You want to get our other box?
Oh, yeah.
You're really forgetting the boxes today.
I'm getting old, Chase. I had a big run today. I'm just kind of.
Yeah,
my knees finally letting me run
again.
I
knew you ran today. That was all. I did Pilates today.
I love Pilates.
And it hurts, so I need it. Like, I think it's one of those deals where I'm constantly mad at it, but.
You doing it on an app or what?
P90X3 has a Pilates workout.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't do yoga, and it was a yoga day. So I did P90X3 Pilates instead of yoga.
So I did HotWorks for a while, and I did Pilates a lot. It was great.
You did?
Yeah. Only thing I didn't like about HotWorks was it would be you and just a bunch of girls, and you knew they thought you were creeping out.
You were creepy.
Yeah, and in fact, I wasn't. Because it was hard. You couldn't do Pilates well and also like try to creep girls. I mean, you had to pick one or the other. But you know me, I'm always thinking that they think I'm creeping them. And now that Campbell works at Zen and she tells me stories.
Well, it's like you watch your airplane eyes telling the person that you'll sit there and be quiet and not be creepy when they walk down the aisle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it says, Neal and Chase, appreciate all that y'all do. No, this isn't an actual restaurant, just a little Instagram hobby. Cheers. This is from Les Penn.
Okay.
We got, kind of curious now. Lester's Grill in Canton, Mississippi. Is that not a real thing? You want the black or the white koozie?
White.
Well, why?
Would you like the white one? I don't know.
I was just playing. You got a.
It's cool, actually. It's a really good logo.
Yeah, gray or tan hat.
I'll let you pick since you're.
All right.
You're.
I'll take the tan.
Okay, that's fine. I would have picked the gray. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Les, I'm kind of impressed. It's a really good logo to just kind of have around and do some stuff.
Here you go, some cups for you.
Cups.
It's actually a second koozie, so you have the cups. I'll take the second koozie.
Fine.
Is that fair?
Yep. Yeah, it probably, like I said, it probably means I need to do it, but yoga is just not. I just,
yoga's hard.
What it is so my core is obviously weak because so much of what I'm doing, I think I'm trying to compensate by holding myself up with my shoulders. So over time, it's like my shoulders and stuff are giving out, and I'm like, I can do tons of push-ups, but something about yoga, it just. Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice hat.
Yeah, those are good.
We have some koozies, don't we? At some point, Oxford.
Are they here or do I?
I don't know. I think they're at your place.
Do I have them?
I don't know.
All right.
We've got more koozies than.
I tell you what we could do for anybody local. We could just take them to like the Oxford Exxon and just sit them on or like in the back, and people would come by and grab them.
It's not a bad thought.
Yeah. Make it easy on everybody.
All right. I think I missed a couple of calls. It's okay. I'm either Austin Powers or Vin Diesel because of the bald thing.
Got a little Vin Diesel in you, except for the lack of muscle mass.
That hurts. I lift.
And tattoos. You don't have them.
I don't have tattoos.
I've never had a desire.
To lift or for tattoos? For tattoos you're referencing?
Yeah, tattoos.
Yeah. It looks like it would hurt.
It's not even that. I just, in my mind, it's, hey, no matter what it looks like today, am I going to want it in 30, 40 years? And frankly, like, am I going to end up with like some loose skin in that area? I got to just go, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't know.
Les, the hats are cool, man. Jacob French says, so did Nigel not transfer to Ole Miss? Saw a post about it on the board. I've heard that. I don't know it to be true.
Oh, Nigel. It's been a minute.
Sipreb, I think Sipreb must have missed the first hour and a half of the show. He says, rumors floating that Kiffin texted 2 boosters at Tennessee saying he was interested in the job. I wouldn't doubt that at all. It's just, but it's him trolling.
It doesn't actually mean anything.
It's
necessarily.
I'll repeat this. You're going to read that he wants the job.
Mm-hmm.
And those reports are going to be based on his trolling. The Auburn thing was Lane made calls. He did. He made the calls. And so when the reporters said that Lane Kiffin inquired about the job, he did. Now, was that leverage? Was that trolling? Was that some combination thereof? I don't know.
Yeah.
But when I defended people and everybody got mad at me, they weren't making it up.
Weird, sure. Oh.
I don't think Lane Kiffin has any interest in the Tennessee job. I think Lane Kiffin loves to see his name out there, and I think he loves to have leverage, attention, all of that stuff. And I think he also thinks it's funny.
I do think there's a little bit of that.
And I think he thinks no publicity is bad publicity. Hey, who's this?
It's Grind.
Grind, what's up, my man?
What's up, man?
Hey, man, I appreciate all the kind remarks and your participation in Carson's podcast. That's really cool of you. I really appreciate it a lot.
Hey, man, it's no problem. Like I said, man, I'm always so support. Whenever I got time to, check in on something, I see you guys working, I'm always so love, man. So,
I appreciate you. It's really,
like I said,
very nice of you.
I love what y'all do, so.
Really appreciate that.
So, yeah. Oh, it's no problem, man. So, yeah, man, it's kind of slow with all the news topics and everything. David, I'm not going to lie, man. David had a great call. He hit it on the head because Greg Sankey sucks. He sucks, man. I'm telling you, bro. He's the reason why Auburn on probation right now in basketball. It's obviously ain't Bruce Pearl's fault because he can't do nothing wrong.
That game last night had to be frustrating for an Auburn fan, huh?
It is, man. But this team is so young, and that's why all the Auburn fans are just hoping if Sharif can come back next year. I mean, that team can easily be Sweet 16. I'm not gonna say it's the floor, but it's like middle of the staircase.
No, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
This team would be more talented than the team that went to the Final Four.
It was so weird. I didn't watch a ton of that game, but I kept flipping back and forth to it. And so I would see like a 4-minute segment, and then I'd miss 8 minutes, and then I'd see 8 minutes, and I'd miss a 4-minute segment. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I saw parts of it throughout. And in the first half, Auburn looked like this machine. I was like, man, they're about to blow Arkansas off the court. And then I flipped back in the second half, and Auburn looked so young. They got so discombobulated, and then Arkansas kind of got. It was like Arkansas took a deep breath and sort of figured it out a little. Yeah. I'm like, oh well, here we go. We're gonna have a really good game, and we did. But Auburn had to get on the plane and go, oh my God, we just gave one away because they were positioned to beat Arkansas by 20 points, and then they kind of got screwy. And to Arkansas's credit, they took advantage at that moment and made it a contest, and the rest.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, man, Bruce Pearl has so much capital built up with the Auburn fans right now.
Oh, sure.
He could do just about anything he wanted to right now. But man, I was calling because if you think about not this past coaching, coaching fraternity, that's what I call them. Like whenever the SEC, has coaching turnover, I group the coaches, that come in as a coaching fraternity. And so from, I grouped the, 2012 to 2014 coaches. In that cycle when you think about it, you had Brett Bielema get hired. You had Mark Stoops get hired. You had Gus Malzahn get hired. You had Hugh Freeze get hired. You had McElwain get hired. And you had and Mason get hired from the 12 to 14. That's like the 12 to 14 class.
Okay.
And you had Butch Jones get hired as well.
Oh yeah, God.
And so
Tennessee's been through some coaches.
And I'm just like, man, like the coaching, like the coach, like who the ADs are picking is just bad coaches, man. Like that's like when you just look on it as why other programs aren't even competing with Alabama. In my opinion, and then after that, you had Matt Luke, Joe Moorhead, and Chad Morris, and the coach. They all got hired in the same cycle, and those guys washed out quickly.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah, but I was also calling too, man, because I was gonna share this Tinder story with y'all right quick, man.
I want to hear this. Yeah, go for it.
So it was a few years back, man. I'm chilling in my college dorm, swiping right, whatnot. And I ended up matching with a chick. She looked good and all that, man. She, looked good. And so she actually had DM'd me first, which actually probably should have been a red flag right there. I probably should have been like, hold on. But, I was like, it seemed like she's feeling me, so what's up? So, she was like, hey, what you doing and all that. And then, it was like, then she was like, hey, do you want to chill and all this other stuff? And I was like, I'm a college kid. I want to do it on campus. So I'm like, yeah, send your location. So she sent me the address. And now I mind you, I'm in college. And so during the time, while I'm on 10, I'm hanging with some friends. I was, on some Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
And so she sent me her location, and, she said it was, the location was like, 38 minutes away. And so I'm like, okay, that's enough. I probably, for another one, I'll probably, smoke another Girl Scout cookie on the way to her, the hang and whatnot, because, she said, yeah, I smoke and whatnot. We can do that when we get back to your dorm room. And I was like, all right. So I go to pick her up. I get to her house. It's a little bit out the way a little bit, but it's not too far, really. And so, I tell her I'm outside. She comes outside. I'm not going to lie. She look real good. I mean, she got on some pants that's, that's fitting her right, all that. Got long hair like in the pictures. I'm like, okay, all right. And so, she hop in the car. And, we talking and whatnot, say hey and whatnot. So I'm driving back. And, we talking. And as he's, I'm doing what you normally do when you talking to somebody and you driving and you got somebody in the passenger seat, you're going to look at the road and you also going to look at them, you're going to take turns looking at them, looking at the road.
Sure.
And so, while I'm driving, looking at her, looking at the road, she looks at me. But every time I look at her, she look back at the road. And I notice that every time, when I still look at her, I see that her left eye never moves out the corner of her eye. Like, her eye still looking at me, even though her head is straight. And so I turn my head straight. I'm like, Lord Jesus. I'm like, I'm like, I must be seeing something. And so I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, I'm tripping. This girl, right? I'm tripping, bro.
You thought you'd had a bad tag along.
You said what now?
You thought maybe you had a bad tag along or a bad Thin Mint.
Yeah. Exactly,
right.
yeah. And so I'm like, you know what, man? I'm not finna ruin this. Let's just keep the conversation going. So keeping the conversation going, I look at her. She look at me. She look back at the road. Her eyes still looking at me. It happened again. I'm like, oh no. Okay. I'm like, man, what is going on? And then I'm like, man, I just don't want to ask her and mess with the mood because the conversation, it was cool and stuff. And then so she was like, she just finally came out and said, I don't know if she noticed me or something. Noticed I was thinking about it or whatnot. She just came out and said, she was like, and about my eye. And I was like, oh my God, okay, so she's gonna say something. And she says, she was like, you're probably, wondering what's wrong with my eye and whatnot. And I was like, I kind of noticed it a little bit. And she said, well, it's just something that's hereditary in my family. And so when she said that, I was like, oh, I kind of felt bad a little bit. She was like, I was like, dang. And she was like, she was like, it's not really one of those things, like feel like sad about. She was like,
was it a fake eye?
She was like, she said, my eyes like this because my grandma and granddad are first cousins. I'm driving. I'm like, what? What? She was
that is hereditary, Grind. I mean,
she was right. A family picture, and everybody's eye was caught to the left. Move like that. Yes. And she basically told me, and she was like, that's why we're using dating apps and stuff because we're trying, get it out the family. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, bro, man, I ain't used Tinder no more for like another year after that.
So how did I hate to even ask, but how did the night end?
Well, okay, look, I'm not rude because like I have a sister and and I have a mother. So, I'm not rude. And so, she was just talking about it and, it was weird, but it kind of interested me in the point too. And so she said they did it because they was running out of Indians. Like she said, they were pure Indians, and she said they believed they had to keep their blood pure, and that's why they they didn't have they didn't reproduce with anybody else. And then she said as the world started changing, you can't be out here doing that. And so we went back to my, dorm room, just chill. We didn't, nothing happened, no intercourse or nothing. And then, I took her back to the house, and then, we didn't hang after that or nothing.
Yeah. I would think not.
So, yeah, man, but that's just one of my crazy things if I just wanted to
You sobered up.
with y'all,
You
man.
sobered up fast in that moment, huh? Yeah. Those do-si-dos wore off quick at that moment.
All right, man. You guys have a good night, man.
Be good.
Keep the good show going.
All right,
See
later,
ya.
bud.
All right.
Wow.
Hard to top that one.
Yeah, that's a good story. Whew. I'm glad I was pre-tender.
I don't think you'd have handled that world well.
No, I don't think so. I know I would have. No, would have gone poorly.
There was a lot of examples on the message board of people that asked the girl out multiple times and ended up marrying them down the road.
Good for them.
Persistence and paying off and
guess
whatnot.
So.
Well, again, there's a difference in asking twice and sending 68 messages and a couple pics.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a middle ground there.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Just
yeah. There's a lot of.
There's some leeway.
Man, his career's over. He's done. The Mets guy done. Jared Porter. Done.
Oh, it's over for good.
He'll never work in that profession again.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, and threw away. I mean, he said whatever age he is, Mets GM. I mean, you're golden.
Oh yeah.
Because once you're that, you're in baseball forever to some gig.
And he just traded for Frankie Lindor.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the trades he just done.
No, he just made some big time trades. Was involved in the Bauer stuff. Was talking to the Cubs about Bryant.
Yeah.
I mean, he was about to make the Mets a contender.
Not anymore.
No, he's done. What does he do?
I don't know what his next job is.
Go get a job at Home Depot or something? What do you do?
Yeah, I seriously don't know. That's what's amazing. I don't know.
See, if I'm him, I'm a risk to go jump off the Empire State at this point. I mean,
you're just
I mean,
self-inflicted. Just done.
Well, and he had to have lived with that for like the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Not knowing if.
Well, you wonder if he had any clue that ESPN was on it. Did anyone at ESPN ever say, "Hey, Jared, do you know anything about?"
Mm-hmm. You just know it's this time bomb.
Yeah.
Does it stay hidden?
You leave the Cubs and you go to the Diamondbacks, and I mean, Jed Hoyer almost hired him as the GM when Theo left.
Mm-hmm.
That was the name that I heard, like in Cub circles, was that they were going to go hire Jared Porter.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, the Cubs have taken a beating on this too, like because the Cubs with Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer and all those guys had the Cubs way, and some people are like, hey, don't ever use that word again. But you can't know,
I get it, but there's so many people in your franchise. I mean, come on.
You can't know everything that everyone's doing.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Because like some people, like Theo Epstein should resign from his position with Major League Baseball. I'm like, why?
Yeah, come on.
What did he do?
That's stupid. That makes no sense at all.
Oh, Colby says, I married a Tinder match.
Oh.
It didn't last.
I mean, I'm sure it.
Oh, Colby, we'd love for you to call in. I'd love to hear this story.
I'm sure it happens.
He actually used a podcast sponsor at the time for the divorce.
Oh.
I'm glad we could help. Yeah. Oh, I'd love to hear that. Yeah, Colby.
Are you like a 9 or a 10 on both title games this weekend? Watchability? You all in on both?
Tampa Bay Green Bay's a 10.
I mean, Kansas City Buffalo is for sure a 10.
Kansas City Buffalo is absolutely a 10, maybe an 11.
Yeah, I mean, they can't. I don't know how that gets any higher.
Colby says, I can't. I'm not somewhere I can call.
Yeah.
That's too
Next
bad.
week.
Yeah, both games are great games. There's multiple storylines on both. I mean, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady leading the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl in Tampa. Tom Brady winning a Super Bowl or getting to a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick. The whole Aaron Rodgers going for another title on a year where he's been phenomenal.
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes coming off the concussion, trying to repeat on a team that I thought showed Super Bowl medal a week ago.
Sure.
Buffalo with people do Cinderella on Buffalo.
They're
and
not Cinderella.
They're 15-3.
Yeah. It's not the 6 seed that's a good story.
No, they're legitimately really good.
Yeah.
And if Buffalo wins, is this the start of something? I mean, they're loaded. They don't have weaknesses. Both lines are around 3 points. I mean, I'm totally in. I think it's a great weekend. I get why you're the way you are about the NFC game, but
yeah, I'm good.
This is where not having an NFL team.
And look, as it gets close in the second half, I'm probably like, all right, what the hell? Hit the button. And no. Again, it doesn't have that feel.
Well, the more you read, what's Drew's wife's name? Drew Brees' wife.
Hell, if you hadn't, Brittany.
Yeah. She made the Instagram post about all the stuff that he's been dealing with. I mean, the end was, you saw the stuff about Michael Thomas, and I mean, the end was near.
Yeah. It was duct tape.
It was, they were, had they beaten Tampa,
been on a tall order,
they were going to go in as a 6-point underdog, and it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I get it. I get being like
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I get it completely. It's kind of like 2017 when the Cubs lost to the Dodgers. I was like, it's over.
Eagles have made a hire, by the way, today. They hiring Indianapolis Colts offensive coordinator Nick Sirianni as their next head coach. Executive vice president told Sal Palantonio today, 39 years old. So.
Although game 1 of the NLCS in 2017, when Ross texted me, what was the word he used? He called me is it a chump? He called me something.
Was it chump?
And he called me whatever he called me, and it was right. The Cubs had just taken a 2-0 lead over the Dodgers in game 1 of the NLCS.
Yeah.
Albert Almora had gotten a hit, and he never got a hit. I was like, some bitch, we're going to win. And then the bullpen started blowing it.
Yeah.
And so he sent that message to me at the exact wrong time. And I responded in the current mood I was in. It was fiery.
Christopher, my mother always watched this. Urban Cowboy is a terrible movie, but it's weirdly watchable. I don't really know why.
John Travolta?
Yeah, and Deborah Winger. It's fine. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I don't know that I'd want to rewatch it every time it's on syndication, but it's not the worst way to spend an hour and 25 minutes or however long it is.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's fine. It's Saturday Night Fever with Cowboys. I don't know. It's fine.
Formulaic.
They go to Gillies, and there's some love interest stuff, and it is what it is, and it's whatnot. So yeah. Anyway, it's fine.
Travis says, why does every head coaching hire have to go to a black-white discussion? The analyst always discusses the disparity of black versus white head coaches. I don't know. I haven't seen all that. Thank goodness. The one guy that I'm surprised hasn't landed a gig is Eric Bieniemy.
Well,
and it could be because Kansas City has gone so deep in the playoffs that they ran out of time.
Well, I was seeing today, and the wonder that's where this conversation is coming from. Is a lot of people were having those conversations about Bieniemy. Is I wonder if he's interviewing poorly because look, he has been the victim of the Rooney Rule because look, the Rooney Rule has some positives. But it also is a waste of time if somebody knows exactly who they're hiring and it gives the other guy no shot.
Yeah.
That's a negative. But he's interviewed, and I forget the number, so anybody can correct me here. He's interviewed like 13 times or something and not gotten a gig. It makes me wonder if there's something he's doing in the interview process. Because look, the NFL has some nepotism. The NFL has some set in its ways about it. The NFL also has a ton of money and tries to win. It's a meritocracy. They're not just not hiring a dude because of a skin color or any other thing that's involved with that dude.
No, they'd hire an alien from Saturn if they thought he would win. Yeah.
So I wonder if there's something from a interview process that he's not doing well. I don't know. I understand the Rooney Rule in a lot of ways, but it does have some negative side effects.
It does. Also. It does. I get both sides of it.
Yeah.
All right, you all. It's kind of last call here. Grind says the narrative of black versus white coaches. I just don't think in that league I don't want to sound naive here. I just don't think that league cares. They did once. I don't think they do now.
Too much money, too much into success. It just come on.
They just
you might have a racist owner.
Yeah,
but from a systemic, no, hell no.
Yeah, no more. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'd listen.
Yeah,
but you'd have to convince me. 20 years ago,
sure,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Today, no, I don't think so. I think they'd hire. I think they'd hire anyone. That league is about winning.
Yeah,
that league is about winning, and if you can win, they just don't care.
Yeah,
at all.
Oh, I agree.
And if you can't win, they'll fire you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they look white, black. Oh yeah, Grind says I'm not saying that. I just believe he says I'm saying Paul Feinbaum's been driving that narrative. I haven't heard Paul, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Ti says y'all take requests. Yeah, I'll take a quick request. Yeah, I mean Pittsburgh's the organization everybody looks at. And they've had, how long has he been there?
They've only had 2 coaches since like 1992.
Yeah, it was Cowher and then Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
They stick with guys for a long time.
But they've won.
Oh, it works.
I mean, that's the thing. That's all. I mean, Bill Cowher started with the Steelers in 1992.
Travis.
Well, here's the even better one. You want the better one?
Sure.
The Steelers have had 3 head coaches since 1969. Because Chuck Noll was there before Bill Cowher.
Was it Chuck Noll and then Bill Cowher and then Mike Tomlin since 1969?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 69.
I mean, you talk about stability. I mean, Chuck Noll was there. He won 4 Super Bowls.
69 to 91. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cowher was
92 to whatever it was. I
Yeah.
just had it up a second ago. 2007.
So Tomlin's been there for 14 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's incredible.
I know.
And Tomlin shows no signs of slowing down. Wonder who their quarterback is post Roethlisberger.
I don't know. They brought Dwayne Haskins in today and probably signing him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. Not saying he's a starter. I have no clue. But
Well, he's got talent.
Yeah.
I would think Roethlisberger, the end is near, right?
Yeah.
He looked.
Yeah.
He looked close to the end.
Yeah. It felt like the end. So.
All right. We'll stop there. Thanks to everyone who called. Thanks to all the people in the stream. That was a fun show. It'll get labeled a Tennessee show, but it is what it is. Ole Miss and Texas A&M Saturday at 2:30. I'll have coverage after the game. What else do we have? We have some recruiting stuff going on.
Colin Malone's in town, so
is he here now?
Well, no, I mean the weekend.
Yeah, Malone's coming in this weekend. Zach will be on that. Ole Miss, they made the one coaching hire official today. They've got
special teams coordinator.
Hutzler.
Yeah.
I told Chase this. Jason Simpson at UT Martin. I continue to hear there's some validity to the Ole Miss Jason Simpson rumors. So we'll see. And then defensive line, I think Chase and I both sort of think maybe possibly Marquise Watson's a real candidate.
Getting more real by the day.
Real by the day, yeah. So we'll have coverage of that. I'll have 10 thoughts to you on Sunday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the NFL championship games on Sunday. And we'll be back on Monday with another edition of the Oxford Exxon podcast. Until then, take care. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Bye.